The award-winning children's book I chose to look at for this project was Ruth Bader Ginsburg, The Case of RBG versus Inequality. It was written by Jonah Winter and illustrated by Stacy Inhurst, and it was published in 2017. It's been the recipient of numerous awards, including the New York Times Best Illustrated Children's Book of 2017, the 2018 ALA Notable Children's Book, the 2018 Parents' Choice Gold Medal, and the 2018 Amelia Bloomer List selection. And the Amelia Bloomer List is a list of books with significant feminist content written for birth to age 18. So in general, this book is a summary of the life of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and for those of you who don't know who that is, she is currently one of our Supreme Court justices. I've learned through this book that her life starts in Brooklyn, New York, but her parents were actually Jewish immigrants who fled from Europe to escape anti-Jewish persecution. The book talks about Ruth's life growing up and the steps it took for her to make it to college, to become a lawyer, and eventually ending up on the United States Supreme Court. What I really liked about this book was that it discussed all the obstacles and inequality Ruth had to endure, but yet she still persevered. One part of the book I really like is where they show real-life examples of this. They have little field notes of real inequalities and hardships that Ruth faced throughout her life. So Exhibit A, it was her first job out of college. Right before law school, her boss demoted her and slashed her wages because he saw she was pregnant. This was a common practice. What could Ruth do? Exhibit B, arrival at Harvard Law School, where there were only 9 women in a class of 500. Harvard did not even provide a place for the woman to live. Not very welcoming. Exhibit C, in the law library, she was barred from entering the periodical room because she was a woman. The guard would not let her in, nor would help her in any way. She needed a book from this room. How was she supposed to complete her assignment? Overall, I really enjoyed this book, and it's definitely one that I would have in my classroom library. One really unique part of this book were the illustrations, and even though this copy of the book is missing its jacket cover, you could still see how unique the artwork is. It has Ruth on one side of the scale of justice with her books, and then on the other side it has some politicians. And then when you look inside the book, it's actually mixed media. It's a combination of art or Photoshop and ink, and it has some really cool effects. I would use this book in a variety of ways. Obviously, in a social studies or history classroom, this book does have a glossary at the end, which is really helpful. It defines terms like anything from evidence to freedom of speech. And then lastly, I think this is just a really good book on perseverance and showing that no matter what life hands you, you can make something good out of it. So yeah, I definitely recommend this book, and I really enjoyed it.